I just love this.
I can't begin to tell you how cold it is out here. But we found a place to boondock on the Eglin Air Force Reserve. This is a huge area. It's monstrously large in size, and it really is a bombing range. All around us, you're gonna hear planes, and at night, sometimes we hear munitions going off.
Unexploded ordnance may be found anywhere on the reservation. These items are dispensed from cluster bombs. If you find one, there is a good chance there are more in the area.
And they show you what to do if you find it, but the basic line is, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. I think I'm more afraid of finding timber rattlers.
Timber rattlers?
I think that scares me more than a bomb. They're huge. Now, to enter the grounds here, you have to have a recreation permit. And the cost is $20 a year, $10 a year if you're a senior. And are you ready? To camp here, it's $5 a night. Can you hear them? You hear the sound of a lot of jets flying when you're here. But you are on an Air Force base bombing range, so they're training, they're learning, they're flying. So if you don't like the sound of airplanes, not good for you. But if you don't mind the sound of airplanes, great place to be.
I can't begin to tell you how cold it is out here. But he's happy. There he goes. He's off running. All right, we got lots more hiking to do, but pretty nice up here.
Well, it hasn't gotten above 9 degrees, and we're out taking a hike. It's absolutely beautiful. And the highlight of our day, I know, is going to be having a nice bowl of that warm soup when we get back to our nice warm RV. We're at the Platte River Campground near the Sleeping Bears sand dunes, where you have to bring your own food in because you're isolated from everything.
And this is one of the nicest things about winter camping at Platte River. The bathrooms, they're heated, and there's even more. Around the back, so are the showers, and there are 2 of them. Toasty warm. Well, all good things come to an end, and it's time for us to leave the beauty of the Lake Michigan shoreline in wintertime. Please subscribe to the RV Lifestyle channel right here on YouTube. When you do that, click the bell icon, then you'll get notified when we have new videos online.
This harkens back to a day when traveling was a little more leisurely. People weren't in such a big hurry. You didn't have the big interstates, and you had these delightful little parks to pull over and rest, sit spell, and continue on. We're here now, and so we're just going to follow this right up to our campground up at Harrisonville.
Oh, nice place to walk, huh?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything better than the sound of waves? I just love this. We are at Tawas Bay, Tawas State Park, and this is a dog-friendly beach. Perfect. Bo loves the Great Lakes.
This is a special National Park Service route. It is perhaps one of the most scenic drives in all America.
Now, we've driven the Natchez Trace Parkway before, but we've always come from Nashville south, and to be honest, we've always been in a hurry.
So we want to take our time this time and start at the terminus at mile marker 0, where we are now, right near Natchez, Mississippi, and we're going to go all the way up, and we're going to stop at as many places as we can. We're going to show you where to camp, the kind of things you can do, and why this is a great RV trip that you need to put on your bucket list. So let's bring them along. We drove the Parkway up to about exit 102, and we came off the Parkway, and in the town of Barnett, Mississippi, we found an awesome campground that is right on the Ross Barnett Reservoir. It's a huge recreational reservoir, and what a great campground this was. Alas, we're back on the road now. This is the second campground coming up from Natchez. It's the Jeff Busby Campground. Who is Jeff Busby, you ask? Well, the guy the campground is named after is a former congressman from Mississippi in 1934. He's the guy who started all the action that would eventually make the Natchez Trace Parkway under the jurisdiction of the National Park Service. So, thank you, Jeff. We appreciate your work. What mile is this?
193.
This is a really nice campground. No gnats?
And it looks like just about every spot is taken,
Yeah.
but that's because there's no fee.
No fee, and there's no reservations. First come, first serve. The sites are pretty good. There's a picnic table. Mm-hmm. There's a grill. Mm-hmm. There's a fire pit.
There are flush toilets.
But again, there's no hookups at all, so there's no running water. There's no electricity, but it's all boondocking, but it's pretty nice.
It's beautiful.
And it's just a couple dozen yards off the Natchez Trace.
I would like to stay here.
Here is our campsite, right on the lake. One of the nicest, quietest, and beautiful campsites we've had on this whole trip.
Well, here we are at Trace State Park, and there are 76 camping sites here on 3 different loops, which makes it kind of quiet and peaceful. And Trace, like they say, it's reputed to be one of the best bass fishing lakes around, and that has caught Mike's attention.
I told you this was a good bass fishing lake. Check this out. One guy caught all those bass in one day, right here. Next up, we found another Harvest Host site that looked promising. This one about 225 miles around the shoreline of Lake Huron. We called and were told they had plenty of room.
Not every Harvest Host is a farm or a winery. Some are historic museums.
The Harvest Host campers love it here at the museum. It's such a unique place to be. We have 10 acres here. We have 16 historic buildings. There's just really something for everybody, and always events and live music was just finishing up here behind me, so there's always something fun to do.
When we arrived, there was a fun farmers market going on. The historic buildings are open for tours. I had to get a peek inside the mansion that, over 100 years ago, was once owned by the town doctor.
The Harvest Host folks, such really nice and respectful people. They're just excited to have the opportunity to stay here. We haven't met anybody that wasn't just an A1 camper.
And how many spots do you have? Where are they? What are they like around?
The spots are out here in our village, and as long as we don't have an event going on, we pretty much let our campers decide where they want to stay. There's lots of options here, lots of beautiful, beautiful spots.
This is absolutely beautiful, 10 acres. It's just great. It's going to be fun. I think at 7 they're having a bourbon tasting here tonight.
A what?
Bourbon tasting. And tomorrow,
I'm in for that.
starting at noon, it's going to be 60s music from noon, I think, until 7.
So we get to attend like a festival, and wow.
Dum